We know something the audience doesn't know.
That's right.
Oh man, this is so funny. If this happens,
That's
if
gonna
this
happen.
happens,
Why wouldn't it happen?
I mean, I think it will, but it's so funny. It's so funny, Joe. I've just got the participants window open, and I'm
Just
so
waiting with bated breath.
yeah, just so excited for this.
I hope this cocktail might suck, by the way.
What is it? It looks great. It looks warm. It looks like dark red wine. You know,
It's not too bad.
what do you got?
I usually like to buy. They have like they used to have like blackcurrant liqueur or peach liqueur, like something I can like jizz it up a little bit with.
Yeah.
They didn't have any, so I bought like creme de violet, like flower.
Oh, that's a weird idea.
He said it was kind of like raspberry. It just tastes like a flower is in here now.
Yeah. I guess I don't hate that. Like I like things like chartreuse and, I like flowery kind of things. I like those, those like lavender candies.
That's what it tastes like. It tastes like a lavender candy. Exactly.
Oh, I like those.
Yeah. I put a little too much. I think I would put just a tit's worth next time. I'm getting all my like weird things out right now before our guest joins.
Our born again Christian guest joins us.
Yeah.
So I've been doing a Negroni every single night this week and probably for my entire life. But it's
you were in trouble the other night, right? You like forgot we had to do some writing and you're like a little too far in the bag, or was that not a troubling moment?
You know what I've been doing since I've been getting up with the dog. I'll have time to where we just sit and the dog just chills or she eats breakfast and then just relaxes like before or after a walk. And I get so much more writing and work done.
That's good.
Yeah. So it's been kind of the thing where if I get half in the bag, it's all good. Wait, so our guest just said that the invitation's been sent and Joe did it, but I sent it.
I don't know. I mean, he must.
This is already silly. But I'm drinking a Negroni with premium ingredients.
What do you? Did you ever use that thing I bought you? Is it in there? It was like a replacement for.
Yeah. I've used that plenty of times. It's great. I forget what it's called, but no, this is all like a bespoke Campari, a bespoke gin, a bespoke vermouth.
Right. It sounds great. I kind of wish I had that. What is he asking now?
He's now asking for an email, like for me to send it. I sent it to the Farrell one.
Oh, a hint for our listeners. A hint has been dropped.
Sorry, we're getting a text.
Who could this born again mystery man be?
From Farrell.
Send it to his personal address.
I did.
We have to be careful because I don't want to say anything that he feels we need to cut out. So.
Yeah. I
also want to talk about. I also want to talk about like stuff. Okay, here we go. You ready? What?
Whoa!
Hey, Monty.
Look at this. How are you?
So for people who are listening, this is our high school forensics coach, and he was a teacher at our high school.
Director, musical director.
Yeah, musical director and director for the plays and the musicals. And honestly, just a huge inspiration in our life. This is so nice. I'm so glad you're doing this.
Mr.
I'm
Andrew
so glad you
Montolioni.
invited me. Thank you. This is awesome.
You know what's perfect about this is like you always really encouraged our weirdness, and then just the fact that you would come on this is so weird and encouraging.
Great.
It's weird that you actually asked me to come on. I have
Why
no
not?
idea.
We talk about our old days in Farrell like all the time, nonstop.
Okay.
So what better way to?
I think teachers are so shy.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
I mean, they're in their element. It's kind of like with stand-up comedians, right? Stand-up comedians. I used to. I'm going to start off already with a story. I remember my whole family went to Caroline's Comedy Hour to see Richard Jeni. I don't know if you remember Richard.
Oh yeah, rest in peace.
No.
And Richard Jeni was a personal friend, or the mother of Richard Jeni was a personal friend to my mother because my mother did her hair. So that's how she was a hairdresser. So they gave us free tickets to go to Caroline and see his headline show up in the city. We all went as a group. And so, of course, he's hysterical. He did his whole thing with all the stuff, and then you talk to him afterward. He would give you like one word answers. He'd give you one word things. It's
Right.
great. It was just like thing here and there. It's like, yeah, oh, thanks. This, that.
Yeah, exactly.
It just seems like that's a common trend.
As a teacher, do you feel like you're performing when you're up there in front of students?
You definitely. Yeah.
Do you recycle jokes every year?
I do.
I mean, why not?
Did either of you had me for physics? No, I don't think you've had me for physics.
No.
Definitely not me.
Sorry, Casey. I assumed too much. It's been a while. No, for the physics stuff, when I teach physics, I have the same ways of remembering the formulas and the FEMA stuff and all that kind of stuff. But
I wish I had you for physics because I did not do well in physics. That was my worst class, I think.
It's funny now because this year is the first year I'm teaching earth science for the first time this year.
Oh, that's the class I took. That's
right.
like the stupid science.
That's like, this is a rock. That's what water is.
Welcome to the rock. It's more than that. It's actually, if you do it right, it's geology, meteorology, astronomy, and weather and climate and media and all that. And
that must be exciting. It must be exciting for you just to switch it up.
Well, that's the thing. Now I'm starting to develop things and I'm cataloging for next year what could be funny, what could be a joke in order for them to remember things.
All this Ignatius humor that
you could be like, this is sedimentary, like Joe Ambrosio. You know, you could like pick out a kid in the class.
Really.
Sedimentary, I think he's more igneous. And Casey, you're metamorphic, especially the hair, the different colors.
There you go.
It's
hell yeah.
Yeah, it works.
You were a huge influence for us. You were like, we spent so much time with you. So much time.
I think, remember Joe Picciotto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Joe, you guys were all with him, right? So Joe Picciotto just comes to me one day after we're in, I don't know, it's like 5:30, the sun's set, the whole thing in the forensics room. And he comes to me, he goes, Mr. Monty, never no one will call me Mr. anything. Oh, you guys it was just Monty, right?
Yeah.
So he says, hey, Monty, you know who you are? You're my Mr. Feeney.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what do you mean by that? I go, well, because Mr. Feeney was their teacher. Then he lived next door. And then he would give them, you would see him everywhere. For some reason, Mr. Feeney was everywhere in their life. So he goes, you're my Mr. Feeney. I see you I see you in class. I see you here. I see you on the weekends. And that's
from Boy Meets World.
From Boy Meets World, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. Can you recall, can you channel, go back to the years where you had us and tell us what Joe Ambrosio was like as a youth?
Joe Ambrosio as a youth? The hair was better. The hair was a lot more clean, a little shorter.
I disagree.
He's got tendrils. He's got the Medusa thing going on. Right now.
Well, it's been a while. I've been locked inside.
I'm waiting to turn to stone soon.
Earth science.
You were a little bit. Yes, I got it. Granite. He was a little more straight-laced than I think he is now. I think he's laid back more now than he was in high school.
I agree. That's kind of true.
I could see that. Yeah.
I remember the frump off. Remember the frump off?
Yeah. Yes. So my senior,
what is this?
The frump off. So, oh my God, we were doing How to Succeed in Business. I'm really trying. His senior year,
right.
You already graduated, right? Case you're older than him, right? So.
Very nice. Good memory.
Incredible memory.
And so what happened was that he and Dave Colton.
Correct.
Was another guy who graduated with him.
Oh yeah.
We were having a hard time deciding which one would get the one part or the other part.
Like the lead villain in the play.
Bud Frump's the main villain. Bud Frump in How to Succeed is the one. He's very nervous energy. He's very scheming, conniving, that kind of stuff, right? So, and each of them had their own take on the character, completely different, but all equally really good. So, and we were back and forth. Who do we choose back and forth? This and that, and so forth. We ended up going with Joe. What? Yeah.
It was my first callback. It wasn't I had to go back and
It wasn't just one callback. I think we called you back 3 times.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't believe this much went into deciding a high school.
I know. This is so funny. It was like American Idol.
In the main scope of things now, yeah, it seems kind of overkill. But it's funny when you're in that world. It's the biggest thing in the world.
Exactly.
It's the biggest thing right now, and it's the biggest thing in the world.
And I really appreciated that. I was very happy, and I really felt like I dug my teeth into that role.
Mm-hmm. And then what we did for Dave is we expanded the role a little bit.
Yes.
I'm going to say a little bit for copyright purposes, or just a little bit.
Yeah.
And then
There
he
was
just
there was some improvising we allowed in those plays.
no, there
right?
wasn't. There was no improvising whatsoever.
Okay.
No.
You're right.
No, it was
Could you
right
really?
to
I
the
mean,
script.
can a high school really get in trouble? I remember they would always be threatened
yeah.
with it. What the? That's so
What
funny
kind
because
of
if you
loser
you
goes
gotta
around to high
read-
schools?
You got to
Excuse me.
No, you have to read the contracts. You can't. You're not supposed to video. You're not supposed to change a line without written permission from the authors. You're not allowed to cut a song unless you have written permission from the authors and this stuff like that.
That's
no
so
one
funny.
follows it. No one
Well, you
follows it.
famously wrote a song for, was it Willy Wonka?
Yeah, Willy Wonka. Like
For Chocolate Factory,
like
you
a
wrote the
special-
most the most beautiful song. I remember, like, so like our generation really loved you, but you retired from Farrell to go to a different school, but then you came back to Farrell. But when you had like a retirement party,
Right.
all the kids that were younger than us, that like were, you know, like maybe 5 to 10 years younger, were like worshiped you even more than we did. And they were all like, play the song. And I remember like just around me and you, I think you had played it one time, like for us.
Right.
And I remember being like, this is great. But those kids like loved it and they had you play it. And everyone had tears in their eyes. It's the
Yeah,
most
it's
beautiful song.
Yeah, and then you
It
came
was-
back, so it can't.
So here's the origin of it. So I went to school in Hoboken, right? You want the origin now?
Yes.
Yes.
Podcast. You want stories, right? So how
Yes.
So Hoboken, New Jersey. I went to school at Stevens Institute of Technology, studied math. Right? Someone just walked behind you.
It's
They
my
kissed.
wife. That's Lisa. You met Lisa
Yes, I.
in Philly.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, that's right. So we were. What were we doing? We were. So
You
I
were
was
SIT?
studying math. I got this job playing piano for extra money. Everyone needs extra money in college, right? So went out there, and instead of doing anything nefarious, I would play play piano for this elementary school. It was a middle school called the Hudson School. Okay, and it's still there. It's actually pretty thriving in that area. It was like this magnet school for West New York and Jersey City, Hoboken, Weehawken, all those areas there. And all these kids would come and commute into Hoboken and come into this class. And every faculty member was some kind of actor that was displaced or just doing it because they had extra money or they were set for life or something like that. And they would just hold their acting experience. So there's this one director who ran the musical program. Her name was Paula Ohouse, Kenny.
We love full names on this podcast.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah.
Are you being sarcastic?
No,
Well,
we're
we drop full names, and it's you're not.
Bad stories.
I don't know if you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll always be
Kinda
like,
I don't know the rules. I apologize.
Kinda
we'll
like
always
with
be like,
the high
Pat
school-
Given killed someone. He'll say the
exactly.
full. He never.
I know Pat Given. That's not
Yeah.
right.
No, he saves. He
He hasn't
saves
killed
people.
anyone yet.
It was a long time ago. So Paula, we'll give her Paula. Well, the last name's significant because her married name is Ohouse. She married the
Oh, house.
well,
So funny to
you
me.
see the name on like chemistry
Ohouse.
scales.
Yeah.
Ohouse, Ohaus.
Dr.
It's
Ohouse.
actually a company.
It's funny. It
That
sounds like
makes-
a person trying to come up with an Irish name. They're like,
Yeah.
their name was O House.
Ohouse, Car, right? Oh, lamp. But no, Ohouse is actually a company that makes science equipment, and he was the son of the founder of the people who made all the skulls. So when I go into physics lab, I still see the name because it's on our
Ah.
spring scales and everything.
Wow.
So she was this Irish repertory actress that now had nothing to do because she married a millionaire. So she came for free into the school and just did the theater program. And she had this idea, she wanted to do Willy Wonka, but they didn't have a musical version of it at the time. And this was like the third year in, and I said, let me try writing some songs. And I wrote some songs in there and for the kids. And
It's so well composed, and and it has like, it's got a great structure. It's like, right. I don't know
Do you have a
exactly.
recording? Do you have a recording of it?
I did. I don't know on what. I'm sure it's on some
I think
cassette
one of
tape
those
that I need
students-
a pencil to wind it up somewhere. But yeah,
Right. Yeah, you did
Yeah.
show us on cassette once, but didn't one of your students like find it and like digitize it?
I think so. Yeah, I think they did. And then
You could find it,
that's
we'd
how
love to
they
play
played
it.
it because they played it for me at that party. So they must have got the music somehow.
How does it feel to be way above the clouds? Right. It was like that.
Above the world, yeah. But that's it.
Above
yeah.
the world.
You got the
it's
melody.
Yeah, it's catchy, and it had, tell me it was like probably like a verse, chorus. Like, did you have a bridge? Like, what was it like writing that?
I never wrote a bridge for it. It was just first chorus.
Okay, we gotta go. Bye, Monty.
Oh man, I knew I should have wrote the bridge.
I always care about the bridges.
We love a bridge. Bridge is tough.
If you could find it, we'll play it on the episode. We'd love to.
I'll try to find it. Or I have to make one. I don't have a piano here right now. They just closed my school because of COVID stuff.
Our school.
Farrell? Farrell?
Yeah, Farrell's now on hiatus until December 1st. We've been doing hybrid model stuff in and out, doing half in, half out, half people on teams and the other half in person, alternating every day. So there's only half the population in the school.
I guess forensics is not happening, right?
Well, yeah, yes, it's not kind of happening. Well, actually, all the tournaments are virtual.
That's cool. That makes sense. You could do that.
You could do it, but
why not?
It's like talking to a screen, and you could deliver a poem or a play or whatever screen.
There's a way different feeling when you're like in front of people and you're being watched and you can feel the presence. I feel like anyone could like deliver in front of a screen,
Yeah, it's definitely a fear factor is taken away. It's also that intimacy of just watching someone in their eyes, just being able to speak to them and seeing how they react.
I disagree though, because there's been a number of occasions where I've had to do some sort of show digitally and perform something, and I absolutely hate it. Like, I just want an audience, and it's really difficult to like visualize an audience sometimes, and it feels like you're doing a self tape, which also I hate, like a self taped audition rather. I mean, I guess that's in some ways easier than going in and doing it in front of like a casting director where there's just one person who's not laughing. You're almost like, I'd rather no person who's here to not laugh.
But when you're in an educational setting, a developmental setting, right? You're talking about kids who are going to go from freshman year to senior year and build up confidence. It's very difficult to build up confidence virtually because you don't have you're not being faced with that.
I agree.
Immediate fight or flight.
Yeah.
Well, what's the whole thing in the public speaking? The first thing they say is you're going to have anxiety when you speak publicly, right? But it's how you control the anxiety is how successful you're going to be.
Man, I had diarrhea every time.
You did?
Oh, you had diarrhea. Casey threw up in Princeton. So
I don't know if we ever told you. I don't think we ever told you, but
I know you told me. I'm not going to say it. But
let's to our next topic.
Yeah, it wasn't the nervous Nellies.
We were. I mean, they're kids. We were troublemakers. We were genuinely monsters.
We were like relatively the angels of Farrell at the time.
Right. Yes, the BYU,
Diablos on those trips.
Right. The BYU comedy show word would be ragtag bunch. But
Have you watched that BYU show I did?
I do. I watched it. It comes up on my Facebook all the time, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, it comes up on. It comes in when I'm scrolling through videos. It comes right up.
Were you already following BYU?
I think it's a connection to Dry Bar Comedy. And so I was watching some Dry Bar comics and things, and then they came up as like when it links things up.
You're the first person.
I know that black and salt and pepper guy. Who's that?
That black guy?
That black guy, that salty black guy.
Black and white haired. Let me say the adjective correctly.
I really wish. I wish people just referred to me as a salty black guy.
We should clarify too, just for listeners.
That's not what I say.
Forensics, we know. Forensics is competitive speech and debate. Usually it's acting. I know we've
talked about it, right?
Who knows? It might be a bunch of people flocking to the podcast to listen to the Monty episode. I don't know.
That's true. This is huge. I can't. I mean, I'm just so happy that you're here.
Did we tell you the things that we got into? Do you want to know them that we got into when we were in those hotel rooms?
Oh, I know. No. I found out afterward. So I don't know if you want to tell your public, but I know.
Afterward.
We talk about it all the time. It's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, our public knows, but I don't want to condone underage uses of any kinds of substances. But
what are the kids like these days? Did you know we were troublemakers?
Yeah, but I mean, compared to other people, that you weren't really troublemakers.
I know there were worse people even on the team than us.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. We will remain nameless for protection.
We've said his full name before.
But Joe, we were right in that mix. I don't want to I'm not looking for, this is like when you talk to a priest and you're like, forgive me, Father, but it wasn't as bad as the other boys.
Stop it. Don't even say that. No, but it was, yeah, look, there was always that, like, they have the opportunity. You hope they're not doing it, but they are. But it's like,
it's a weird. It was a microcosm of the real world. You're trying to balance fun with like a job to do.
You know what happened? That's interesting is, Joe, your dad came on quite a bit of trips. He was like one of the best of the parents that would help contribute, and like you would drive sometimes, right? But that never stopped you. You were like, I mean, your dad was pretty laid back, but like he just like was very much like, I'm just going to go to my room. Joe can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
What was the? Yeah, I'm sorry, I have to interrupt that.
No, that's it. I was just gonna agree. That's it. That was the case. Yes, we went to Wake Forest with him and stuff. I remember, like, which was in North Carolina, right? There were all these. That was the coolest thing. It's kind of like the most exotic like thing you can do in high school. You get to travel to all these cities.
I don't know about exotic. I don't know if
we got
that's
to
the
go to
right word.
Philadelphia and upstate New York. It was great.
But we went to
Ivy
Princeton
League
and
tour.
Harvard. Yeah, the Ivy League
Yale.
thing was so. I'll never go to those schools, so it was like I love this. I'll either go on forensics trips or to visit my brother, and that's it.
You went to Harvard. You went to Harvard with your parents. They judged for me at Harvard when you were a senior, I think. And was Colin judging too?
Yes. But I think I think he judged for Regis.
He judged for Regis.
My
right.
favorite.
But my parents, this is pretty cool. They could have, like, they had done Regis for years, but I think they did Farrell because they wanted the support, which was really nice.
Right, it was good. Yeah,
they care a lot about being like fairness and stuff, and so they're like, we shouldn't come unless we're going to judge for our son who's in high school at the time.
Right.
That was
and
nice.
Your father was a
racist.
Was a teacher at it was a teacher at Tech for a long time, right?
Yeah. He just retired. Actually, no, he retired a while ago. My mom retired more recently from the fire department. She still has her own practice, but he retired from Staten Island Tech, which there's no what's it called?
Forensics team?
Yeah, there's no forensics team. There's no conflict of interest.
There was a debate team there for a while, but they did it in a different circuit. They did it like a city circuit and things like that.
So you started a team at Villa as well, or Villa?
I started one at Villa.
It's a defunct
Rest in peace. Yeah.
Rest in peace. And that, just like the school, that one folded. But I started one at Notre Dame too.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Is that still going?
It's still going. They're both still going. Yeah.
That's
Villa's
great.
No, well, not Villa because Villa's
Right.
school's not there.
My favorite
They
thing-
stopped doing that.
My favorite thing was about 9 years ago. I think it was you asked us if we could judge, and we got like a bunch of our friends together, and it was so fun. It was so very fun to relive, like living like we were making trouble in hotel rooms, but also we were now judging. We were on the other side. We were in charge of these kids. It was the best.
Here's what's so weird about it is we were out of college, but going to a college, but to judge high school kids.
Right.
So crazy.
It's a funny thing. Yeah.
I mean, unless this whole thing subsides, kids are not going to have that experience again.
They will at some point, but unfortunately, a lot of
yeah.
kids at this age, they're going to miss out on it. Like,
They're going to miss out. The next maybe 2 years. Like this class last year.
So what's going on? What's going on at Farrell? Like, is the television studio, Brother Hannon, still going on? All that
That's still
during
going
this
on.
year?
But this year, everything changed a little bit because of the COVID. So there's no homeroom anymore this year. We just go right into first period. First 10 minutes is like you take attendance virtually on the computer. And
Takes
now
10 minutes
it's
for that. Wow, nice.
10 minutes for that.
It's like
and
a quarter of the class.
the prayer, the pledge.
That's another 10 minutes.
No. They add 10 minutes on to the 45. So first period is 55.
Oh, so the first period is homeroom to do the prayer and the pledge. I mean, like,
Prayer, the pledge,
not to knock it,
announcements.
but you're like, I feel like it's already so much time to be in front of a screen. I feel like the prayer and the pledge can maybe go.
Well, don't forget, half the kids were in.
Do kids still fart? Do they still yell things out? Are they still going?
Yes, they're human beings.
What is
They have
happening?
biological systems. They still
glad to
fart,
hear it.
yes.
Do they say like
fart.
Dirk? Do they say stuff like
Yeah.
that? You know?
I'm going to be honest, though, with this whole virtual thing, they're very different. It's not the same.
What's it
Not
like?
like that
They're not as
same kind
funny.
of communal thing.
They're
It's
just not as funny.
quieter. It's quieter. Everyone's still on a screen. They all have a computer in front of them because this is the first year that the school actually provided laptops to all the kids.
Whoa.
So Lenovo's, right? So they have all these.
Wow.
Oh, they got Lenovo's? Bro.
Yeah. They got
Bro, Bronovos?
Bro, they got
Lenovo's,
Lenovo's.
Wow, bro.
Yeah, but they gave
Wow.
them all the faculty got a computer, all the kids got a computer. So instead of them kind of socializing with each other, they just now focus on that screen. And it's like,
I'm even talking
it's hypnotic.
prior to the COVID, were kids being troublemakers, or is it a very
Yeah,
academic
yeah.
school?
No,
I'm
those
sorry,
still
I know that-
troublemakers.
I know that like you're on a different side of this, but like I just cherish the memories of troublemaking.
Oh
To me,
yeah.
that's like.
Oh,
the
but
best
no.
part of high
You
school.
asked me when I was in school. I cherished it. I cherished my sophomore year troublemaking with all our teachers. We had the one class that would just basically have troublemaking things. There were a couple kids in. Oh no. Oh,
Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm screen sharing what our office looks like. And I want you to find Joe Ambrosio. So
Joe, very good. Yeah, see, you were up on it.
My
You're
cat was laying on me, so I was just like thinking. This is a moment of me thinking of comedy, okay? And that's what I'm like
Yeah.
looking up. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that my pensive state is not. This is. I
Oh,
saw
nice,
Casey.
Joe. Good job.
I
Oh,
saw you
good, Joe.
smiling in this
Phone,
meeting, Casey.
distracted.
look at him on his phone.
Joe is engaged. He's
If I could
engaged.
This is unfair.
Yeah, I know this is
I feel
this is
seen.
bad. Well, the reason why I did this is because for the most part, Joe has criticized who I am during this kind of COVID crisis, like in
Okay.
terms of like, I admit I'm pretty bad in this world. My ADD goes through the roof, and I'm not a great representation. But he was the first to attack, so I'm now just think of this as
I'm
a
not the first to
retaliation.
attack. I'm not the first
Yes.
to attack.
What are you talking about?
But I'm not even supposed to be in these meetings. I'm working an after party, and I had a free moment, and I gave you my time. I gave the team.
Oh,
I for free. I gave you my time.
For free? You're getting
Yeah.
paid.
Yeah, I know, but also I didn't
do
have
I need
be
to
there.
put my referee jacket on here?
Wait,
What's
wait,
going on?
hold on. What do you mean you didn't have to be there? Because keep in mind that I've also been in your shoes and had two shows, and I've tried to be in both.
Technically, I'm working on an after party this week, and I only had one day in Jokers, and that was Monday.
Oh, is
And
that true?
I'm not even supposed to. I'm not even necessarily like need to be in these meetings, but I'm giving you the gift of Joe Ambrosio.
Oh, I don't.
And you're
All right. So,
spitting in that gift's mouth. You're
I
opening
agree.
the mouth of that gift and spitting in it like
yeah.
some kind of jerk.
I don't know any jerks that do that, but I guess if anyone did do that, jerk is the nicest way you could call that person. But yes, I apologize. I didn't realize that was the case. Thank you, Monty, for being here and mediating.
You're welcome.
Do you
All
know
right,
about the
and
time? Do you know about the time that we were in a hotel room and someone unnamed urinated in the freshman kid's heater and then turned the
Yes.
seat all the way up?
Yes, I remember, and I know the person who did it. Yes.
I know. Do you know about the Friendlies
Genius.
incident? Do you know about the Friendlies incident?
Oh, yes, I do.
My God,
do.
you do?
We didn't know
I
if you
do
knew
know.
about it.
Someone told me about. I think it was 5-6 years later. Yeah.
That was when the so and so stole the whole bill from Friendlies.
I think the quote was, "Monty, we gotta go. Monty,
We gotta go.
Go.
Come on, let's go. Let's go.
we gotta go. Let's go." No,
Monty,
I
what
gotta
the-
do. Monty,
Monty, what the fuck?
Let's
Let's
go. We gotta go.
Yeah. What's funny about it is like you were just like casually talking to everyone, having a good time, probably being like, "Hey, so how are you gonna get back to the hotel?" Like talking to Joe's dad.
Oh, yeah,
and then
probably.
he was just like, "Come on, hurry the fuck up, Mom." This is a child talking to his teacher and screaming.
It's crazy, but it's true. That's what happened.
I know.
so
It's very
funny.
true. It
the
started
best.
with, "Hey, let's go," and then it started with, "Monty, we gotta go," and then the teeth started getting clenched. "I gotta go. Let's go."
We
I
got
love it.
so lucky. We got kicked out of states for
Fake states.
huh?
We got fake states and real states.
Yeah.
Were
We
you
got
part of
kicked,
fake states?
I think so. We got kicked out because of weed, I think, or something like that. And like we were there and then couldn't compete and then
Mm-hmm.
Wait, for real?
It wasn't weed.
wasn't?
It wasn't.
Oh, okay. I guess that we didn't get caught then.
Wasn't there alcohol? Was alcohol? Wasn't it alcohol?
There's always alcohol. I think. But
I
we were
found a
drinking,
Probably.
bottle of vodka in
drinking,
your room or something. It was someone's
we were
room.
drinking
Whose
like
room was that?
what is that like hazelnut flavored liquor? It was terrible. Like amaretto.
Amaretto?
Oh,
Yeah.
amaretto. Yeah.
Yeah, we were
amaretto.
like,
That's
we were
right.
like, check this out. And it's like
No,
an
someone had a bottle of
aperitif.
vodka in the room. Someone had a bottle of vodka
Really?
in the room, like exposed. They wouldn't let me in. I don't know who it was.
Greg? Probably Greg.
No, I think it was. I
He who
don't
shall
even
not be
remember.
named.
I don't want to say a name because I don't want to accuse anybody incorrectly.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
But,
I'm trying to like have fun with what we can like. I don't even know if there's anything we can reveal to you that you don't already know. It sounds like.
You know what? I will say this. almost none of our hijinks involved like sensual, like relationshipy, like girls, like
No.
none
Not
of it
at all.
involved, like, which is so sad. Like I
Sensual?
wish we
Did
were
you-
like,
Sad,
Like
very
sensual
sad.
for high school kids.
I didn't want to say sexual like in front of Monty.
Oh,
Yeah, but
thank
you
you.
said sensual instead.
I know,
Sensual.
it's
There's
weird.
only one letter
sensual
off.
16-year-olds. I don't know, man.
No, but that's the one thing I know for some reason, and this is not a knock on you guys. I
Knock
never
away.
had to worry about that with
Knock.
you guys.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
Uh,
Oh, you never had to worry about that with us.
I don't know why.
Well, I mean,
So
you're not
funny.
wrong. You're not wrong, but yes.
Because
thanks
I
a lot.
remember
Oh, there
they
was
were
a couple reasons. Number one, I never stayed at the hotel where all the other people were.
right. That's right.
So I never stayed in. I never stayed at the tournament hotel where there were 75 other high schools from all over the country, just with hormones raging.
I will
would
say,
never stay there.
Once you started that Villa team, though, nature took its course.
Yes, it did. And actually,
Really?
there's a couple. It was a couple people that are like still together from it.
No, no
Wow.
way. Wow. God, so you
Yeah,
see?
Tim
Beautiful.
and Rebecca. Is it Rebecca? I think it's Rebecca. Well,
Tim
they're
and
still
Rebecca,
together
Ross and
from high
Rachel.
school.
Wow. You see?
And,
So-
and
Beautiful.
They went through college together and everything,
Oh.
and they stayed together. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
it didn't
it's
work out
really
for me
fun.
that way.
Monty, who are the top 3 greatest forensics people you've ever had?
And
Like
we
in
know
terms
that's
of
not us. We know it's not us.
Results?
I'm fine with it not being us. Trust me.
Oh, it's
I-
not you. It's not.
I
you.
have- good.
So,
Good. I mean, I'm
Okay,
hurt,
well,
but good.
You didn't have to say it
sorry
that
you
way.
hurt. Hey, listen, you're making money off of it, so that's I know that BYU paycheck.
Oh,
So
boy.
it's right there. It's in Mormon dollars.
Mhm.
What we got?
Yeah, the exchange rate's
I
good.
give that
So
to
we had a national championship.
kidding.
I'm sorry, I'm really
Okay.
being stupid. We
I
had a
love it.
national champion, Michael Carone, who was a kid I poked out of my
right.
my math class his junior year. and
So he
senior year.
wasn't.
Those 2
He
years,
wasn't even. You saw something in him. He wasn't even interested in forensics.
He wasn't even an actor or anything. I said,
He
you know
was
what?
great at math. And you were like, this kid can act.
He wasn't great at math, but there was something about his personality, and said, you know what? You should come join the team. He
Was
never did a
it
theater
dramatic?
show.
Was it dramatic or comedic?
Dramatic.
Really? So you could notice that, like, because that's like you'd see a funny kid, you could be like any sitcom is like, you're funny, you should do this. It's rare for a person to be like, I think you have a dramatic side, because you also did that with a kid who was in 12 Angry Men.
Yeah, Joe Romano.
Yeah,
Joe
Joe
Romano,
Romano.
yeah.
You did the same with him, and he was good.
Mhm. Pulled him right out of class. And he was good.
He was a
You should come do
straight
this.
up George C. Scott. I mean, that was him. It was crazy. You nailed it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he really
yeah,
did a
you
good
nailed
job.
that. That's
No.
fascinating. You did that twice.
More than twice, I think.
sure,
I think
yeah.
there was a lot of people that I pulled out to try to do that. It's one of those things where it's one of those things that. Well, my father's passing through here. My father made the podcast.
Oh,
No, it's one of those things where you sit like, first of all, Mike looked like 16, but he looked like 26. So you're always
Okay.
looking for like someone who looks older than they are, so they can do a certain range of pieces that you would normally not do for a kid like Joe, who was scrawny and nerdy and looked ugly and that kind of thing. You know?
Joe Romano, right?
He
Oh,
looked
no,
ugly.
yeah,
Not me.
right, exactly.
Not me.
No, not you.
Definitely not me that you're referring to.
Not at all, Joe. No. Yeah. So, but yeah, you start pulling people out and so forth, but then people just come to you. Like Peter Romano just came in the door, goes, "Hey, is this where that forensics thing is?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then he ended up being like winning everything.
You know,
Wow.
one thing you always tried to get me to write an original oratory, and I didn't take you up on it. I didn't have
Me
the
too.
confidence to do it, and I wish I did because
And now you're writers, so isn't that ironic?
ironically, I know you nailed it. You knew it, and I wish I had done it because who knows what kind of confidence that would have instilled. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I still,
I also feel that way.
but your brother Colin did that. You know, and like that
Colin
was
did
like
that,
the
yeah.
starting point for that. You know,
He's great. I mean, have you read? Oh, you have to read his book, Monty.
Oh, yes, I didn't know that. What is it called?
Yeah, it's called
Plug.
a very punchable face.
Oh, nice.
Hold on, I have it here, but I also have a television on top of it. It's called A Very Punchable Face.
Oh,
By
that's
Colin
the
Jost.
actual title. I thought you were just being
no, that is the title.
fraternal with him.
Yeah, and it's really good. And he has a whole section about forensics. So
very cool.
if that doesn't sell it to you,
Oh, I'll get it. I'm gonna go on Amazon. I'll get it for him.
yeah.
Do you remember that time that this is like my favorite forensics thing for me, and it didn't pay off necessarily, but like I was doing removing the glove, which was
Right.
where it was like an allegory for like I guess being gay, but it was about being left-handed.
Satire,
Yeah,
big
yeah.
satire on it. Very fun.
Yes, exactly. It was great. It was a really smart piece, and I was doing that, but I started doing it towards the end of one season, I guess, of forensics, and it didn't really kind of like I was just getting to know the piece, so we started to do it again the next season, and that's not really quite legal
You're
necessarily.
not supposed to do that now.
Yeah, and so like a judge from another team came to sit in on one of my rounds, and I had to like pull out of my ass some other piece that I kind of been playing with and try and like do it by memory. And
Right.
I didn't get last place. That was what mattered to me the most. I didn't
Right.
get last place in that round, but it was like the most harrowing moment of my life. I remember like everything, you know, how, like it's so stupid. Like you were saying before, like the stakes for the dumbest things get so high, like auditioning
yeah.
for Bud Frump. That's what it felt
Right.
like. I was like, I have to get through this, otherwise I'm gonna get busted, you know.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting first place.
Because you
with the
you did it without my knowing. You said you were going to do another piece, and then you did that piece instead
What?
because you were more comfortable with it.
What, removing the glove?
Yeah. You didn't. I didn't know you were doing removing the glove.
I don't know. I don't know if I
You-
buy this because you're the boss.
I don't think
you're the
so.
boss, man.
I don't think I would have allowed
know.
that because I knew
Well,
you would have
Monty-
gotten busted.
You also remember the Santa Chronicles for me, right? Was that what it was
Yes,
called?
I do remember the Santa Chronicles.
Or
Santa
the
Man
rain-
Diaries,
the-
I think it was.
Santaland Diaries. That was
Yeah.
David Sedaris, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I mean, now I remember
And you,
that, but
you did the same thing. You made up the whole thing, and you got
But
first
the whole
place with
thing.
it.
I got first place at Farrell.
And we never did a tournament at
He
Farrell
did not
again.
memorize it. Yes. I still remember the ballot from the guy who's now the president of New York Forensics League, saying like, just giving you like compliments on, oh, this is so well put together. It's so funny. It's a text for this. And I'm
What a
like,
load of
laughing
horse
because-
apples.
Because it was
And
all,
I think I had
Yeah.
improvised. All right. So I think my first round, I remember like trying it the best I could, and it was bad, but I didn't get like, I got like a 3 or something because the rest, everyone else in it was like pretty
3 out of
bad.
6, and 1 is best, 6 is worst.
One is best. So 3, I could still be in the running. And then I was like,
Right.
I'm not going to remember it. So I just improvised it the next 4 times.
I can't.
And then
not
so-
2 times, but yeah, 3 times.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, 3. I got 3 times. Yeah. And then I ended up, I think I actually got second, which
Yeah.
I like more. I almost don't want to win with that. I like that second
No.
place. I'm like, so I usually people are second or like second place get so upset because it's the first loser. But I was like, I love this.
I love second place. Are you kidding me? I'm like, I don't deserve to be past third.
Well, you know how mad everybody was, right? People
Oh,
were
yeah, I'm
working and the people that were multiplied. There were stories of like, oh my God, can you prove the whole thing? I memorized the damn thing and I couldn't break, and he was in there. I'm like, calm down, man.
we
Just
were
relax.
the bad boys, man. We were the bad boys of forensics. That's all. And it's a weird flag to wave, but
It's a sad one.
It's a
It's
sad,
sad.
weird flag. Yeah. but you know, I mentioned earlier that I always had diarrhea before like performing. And when that was the one and only time we ever had a tournament at Farrell at our home school. And
Yes.
I that was the only time I was ever in the teacher's lounge. I took a giant shit in the teacher's lounge.
In the teacher's lounge?
Yeah.
I
It was
didn't know
open.
that. That's
It was open to
incredible.
judges, yeah. So
We opened up those teachers' lounge because for some reason Farrell didn't want to actually fix any of the bathrooms in the school.
Maybe they wanted to
So
work,
at that point, so they're all fixed now, by the way.
yeah, okay. So
Because of
you say-
COVID, there's
I'll be the judge of that. I'll
no, they're
come in and
nice.
shit next week and we'll see.
They're super nice, Joe.
I'll judge that tournament.
I used
know
to have to go. No joke. I used to have to go to the girls' bathroom in the gym because it was the only good bathroom.
It's the only good bathroom. So,
You know it
but
too.
now
Okay.
they're all up to date.
Okay.
I've been there. No, it's good.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Exactly.
Ambiance. Smells like rose petals. No, it's good.
True. No, yeah, lovely. The mirrors didn't have like scratches in them with words written into them.
Best Farrell
No, but
bathroom was in the gym in the girls' bathroom was where I
That's
would
the
try
one.
to.
Yeah, that's
That's
exactly
the one.
it.
That was the.
That's
Holy
the
Grail.
one.
Because the
Yeah.
boys one was ridiculous. You walked in there and it's like, oh God. And then
Well,
parents had to walk in there for shows and things like
Yes.
that. And the janitors
People.
never really fixed it up. It was embarrassing for a while.
That one's not even though, but that one's not even as bad as the locker room ones. The locker room ones are a lot worse.
Yes.
Do people still do the quack quack quack? In play?
Yeah, that tradition did carry through. Yep.
Are you kidding me? To this day,
Yeah. Yep.
you know, I started that.
Yeah. you're the origin of that? Yeah, it
Yes.
started. I didn't know you were I actually were talking. We actually did a thing. Do you know what the Minties are? So there's a guy in Staten Island who's a lawyer. He's a theater alumni from C.
A lawyer,
Michael Pinto. He started the Minty organization, which is kind of like the Tonys for Staten Island Catholic Community Theater, Catholic Theater for the high
And
schools.
he's a lawyer, though. He's a lawyer.
Is he
He's
any
a lawyer.
good?
As a lawyer? Yeah.
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
just- Yeah.
All right, well, we'll see.
But that's not the thing. Basically he gives back to the schools. Every school gets $1,000 to their program. The one who wins the best one gets $5,000. It's like a whole community outreach type of thing to the Catholic high school theater program. And they actually gave me an honor or something for a thing in the January gala last January. And I called up all the Farrell people, alumni and the current Farrell players together, and they did a quack quack right in the middle of the Hilton.
Are you kidding me? I'm
yeah,
the
we
guy.
did,
I'm the
yeah.
guy. I started that, man.
They
So
did
it
it
can't-
together. So, yeah.
I can't confirm or deny even what you're talking about. So
No, I know.
are you saying the Mighty Ducks quack quack?
The Mighty Ducks quack
Yeah.
quack.
You don't remember it, Casey? They did it at your show.
I can now remember, but it didn't it didn't have a long lasting effect in a way that it might have been more.
Apparently it did.
No, I'm saying for me, but I guess maybe when I left the school, maybe it was a bigger thing your senior year.
Well, I just know that it was for Mighty Ducks, and every year since I was a freshman, kids would I think I started my freshman year because kids would give each other speeches and get everyone ramped up right before opening
Mhm.
night. And
Mhm.
I was very popular for some reason. They called me Little Hack.
Oh yes. So this is crazy.
Fiorella.
Imagine getting a nickname and then immediately everybody dropping that nickname.
yeah.
That's what's so funny. Freshman year, his freshman year, he was in a play that was
Fiorella.
a funny thing happened on the way to the forum, right?
No,
Yep.
Fiorello.
Fiorello was a freshman.
Oh, my freshman year was that. I didn't even do
Yeah.
it. But yeah, Fiorello, and his character was called Little Hack because there was a group of hacks.
I was
Yes,
Hacks.
that's right. The
Hack
hacks
six.
were the
Whatever.
hacks
political
mean
hacks.
like the henchmen or something.
They were
The
political
people-
hacks. We were just we were just
Did
I
you,
don't
were
know.
you in the politics and poker number?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he
okay.
was Little Hack, and then everyone just continued to call him Little Hack for the entire year. But it almost as if imagine the first day of sophomore year, he comes in as I'm Little Hack again, and everyone just stopped calling him,
Right.
with the exception of maybe one or two people.
I didn't really own a nickname, so I didn't mind it dropping.
It's not a bad dropping, yeah.
But yeah,
What other nicknames that Joe got?
You tried to start Stripe,
I mean,
and I wasn't
he had-
into it at the time, but I appreciate it now. But you tried
Yeah.
to make Stripe a thing, which is
Yeah,
I guess I'm not
I
sure
did that-
what that's in reference to on my body.
Do you
but-
really want to know Joe's nicknames? It was mostly cum shot and it's pretty. I don't want to
No,
say them.
we tried to start Stripe because you were so self-conscious about yourself.
Yeah, I used to
That's
die,
nice.
and I died.
Oh my god, that's actually beautiful that you were hey, own this.
And it's
Yeah.
true.
Alright, so-
I mean, that's the lesson, really.
Well,
have
we're
to-
going to sue you, Monty, but we
Thank
have
you.
to take a quick break because we're going to run out of time. But we're going to,
Perfect timing.
and we're back. Sorry, were you guys waiting in the chat for a while? Sorry.
No, I just got in.
Here we
Okay,
go.
good. Well, Monty, you brought up a lawyer before, and
Uh-oh.
I also said that I'm going to sue you because that was
Uh-oh.
us trying to segue,
Yeah, we
into
only
our
have one lawyer
sponsor.
that we're allowed to talk about on this podcast.
Oh, okay.
unless there's a second lawyer that's paying us, in which we did that for a few years,
We
Okay.
did that briefly.
a few
Yeah.
episodes.
But we have
Um,
this podcast is sponsored by a lawyer named Jody Sellers. Have you heard of
Okay.
him? Are you familiar with
I
his
did not.
work?
He's basically the Monty in our life now. You know, he encourages us, our weird, and he gives us money just like you did.
Yeah.
I didn't give you money. I didn't have any money to give.
Wow.
Okay, that's true.
We took your money. Let's just say
Oh yeah, well,
Why? No, we didn't.
you took Friendly's money. That was the
that's true.
That's
Those poor
well,
people.
not we. We
I
didn't get
I
anything
didn't
out of
make
that
out
deal.
on that at all. Yeah.
We actually paid, if you think about it.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
our money taken
We,
from us as well.
we took our money, not friendly.
That is true.
But hey, that wasn't ours. But it had exchanged hands in our mind. So we have a lawyer named Jody Sellers who lives in Griffin, Georgia.
Not only does he
Okay.
live in Griffin, Georgia, he works in Griffin, Georgia, and that's where he practices his law.
And we are his sugar babies.
And actually, here's the big thing. Here's the big reveal that I found out
Okay.
recently. Jody's single. Jody
Yes.
Sellers. Jody Sellers. Not only can he get you off on a criminal charge, He can get
God.
you off also in bed because he's single.
Nice.
in
Yeah.
bed.
Yeah, in bed, or maybe in a public situation, you could probably fool around with him, and he would have the charges dropped somehow. I'm sure. So imagine going around with a guy that's like that can play God with the law. You know, can you imagine dating this person? That's Jody Sellers.
And
Okay.
you could actually, you don't even have to go through the dating
If you want to
websites,
date,
which he's
you can
on.
call it. You can call his secretary.
Just call him
at
directly, 770-415-9848.
9848.
And I actually have to tell you something, Joe. Speaking, and also Monty, speaking of improv, recently, my friend Patrick Noth and I, another improviser, we had this idea, and we're going to keep trying it out. But we sat in on a Jody Sellers law firm meeting with his entire staff
You
on
didn't tell
Zoom.
me about this.
It happened yesterday, and it was with Jody. It was with Bobby. She was so nice.
Wait,
it was with Judy.
So you guys did this thing, and I wasn't involved, and you didn't tell me about it.
It's brutal. I know.
course.
I understand.
Jody.
It's hard. It's
Jody.
hard.
What's your lawyer's name, Monty? I'm gonna sue Jody. I think.
I don't think.
Michael. He'll take it, I think. I
So
think he'll
Michael
take it.
versus Jody. We're gonna have a showdown because that's rude.
But it was really interesting to see the inner workings. And honestly, shout out to April. Shout out to Bobby. Shout out to Judy.
April. I don't even know what April is. I feel like left out of this whole thing.
Absolutely. I know,
Wow.
and I feel bad, but it was.
You don't feel that bad. You don't feel that bad.
I don't feel that bad.
I
But it
don't.
was really fun. Me and Patrick wore suits, and we tried to just like pretend to be
I
attorneys.
have a suit. I could pretend to be an attorney. This is
It's true.
absurd.
Not with that hair.
I would have tied it back. It would have been nice. I would have combed it back. Oh, you people. Oh, you men.
So that's our sponsor, Andrew. Andrew.
So
Andrew.
I know.
Isn't it funny trying to call me Andrew?
I can't do it.
There's like 3 people in my life that call me Andrew.
So if you want a deceitful snake to be your lawyer who will let you down and not include you in his improv meetings, then you can call Jody Sellers. Sure.
And if you want to date that snake, bite the apple.
He's sole. He's single.
Apple.
I don't know. I was trying to make like a
Jody,
biblical reference.
I want reparations, Jody.
Oh my god, that's
What?
I'm
It's
that
a
should be.
word. It's a word. It doesn't. No one has a monopoly on the word reparations. Okay.
I guess so. I mean, it has other context to it.
Well, I'm not talking about that context. I want this context.
Monty,
Yes.
now it's time to talk about what I was like in high school
Oh,
versus
no.
now.
Here we go.
Versus now.
What was the worst part of me and what was the best?
I think the best part, I'm trying to remember now. I mean, it's like you're more grounded now than you were. I think you were all over the place, and I mean, you're still a free spirit, but I think you let it kind of work against you in high school, and now it kind of works for you. You've learned how to channel it.
I think I learned how to sometimes turn it off, which is probably
That's probably it too. Where you had reckless abandon in high school, it's like, I don't really care. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. But now you realize that there might be some repercussions on the other end. And I think you're more appreciative too now.
Well, that makes sense. I think so too. I don't think I was. I mean, I guess I don't think I was super appreciative at the time. But I think as soon as I left, I was like, oh, that was actually a really nice thing that was happening those last 4 years.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I guess you're right. That's really excellent feedback. Wow,
Well, that's true. But that's kind of everybody too, right? Unless people don't grow up, or unless people just stay the same as they were in high school, which is unfortunate. But I think gratitude is the one thing that I think develops as you mature. That doesn't always develop.
I'm not a big astrology guy, but I was told, years ago that I am like a Gemini and like a double air sign.
You were told you were Gemini. Isn't that just based on your birthday?
Yeah.
But
The
like a
calendar
double
told him.
Gemini. Like there's
Who
a
told you this.
Tom Bones.
Yeah.
He oh, actually no, it wasn't Tom Bones. It was Dave. Who was the other guy in Canopy?
Who?
He dressed like Jesus. Yeah.
John Vale.
John Vale. Yeah.
No, he actually was getting work like modeling as Jesus and things.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting.
he would sometimes you'd be playing a show and he would come in like with like a staff and like sandals and like a whole robe, and you'd be like, oh my God. Oh my, literally God.
Yeah, exactly.
But he,
oh, my son of God.
He like did my charts and like told me I'm like, you know, a double Gemini, and like I have a Capricorn, which is a grounded rising, which is like, thank God. But like, but also I think I got older, like, to be honest, I think Lisa really grounded me in a lot of ways that like I needed, and like taught me a little bit of that. I don't know, but also just age helps with that stuff. But, yeah, it's interesting to think. I never thought of myself much as a free spirit, but I guess looking back, I was just like a whirling derby or whatever.
Yeah, you were on. Yeah,
Dervish.
I think it's dervish.
Yeah, whirling dervish. I was just sort of a little bit more manic.
Yeah.
How come you never invited us back to judge since 2011? How come we haven't been invited?
Well, you can't count since 2015 because that's when I went to Maryland.
Right.
And I think before that, I did actually ask and say, you like to judge, and then I think you were just too busy. You were working on things and so forth like that. I never found a time where you can come.
I want to do it again so bad. As soon as
Me
things
too.
Yeah, I'm not in charge of it anymore. Trust me. But you can do it now. You want to sit in front of a computer for Saturday and
let's
just
not
watch
go
a bunch
crazy.
of videos.
Let's not get nuts over here.
I'm not.
I want the hotel room.
I'm not recommending it. It's different.
What are you still doing the plays, like the musicals and the plays and stuff?
Not at Farrell, but in the community.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
That's
at
great.
Harbor? Or
Been working with. Remember? Do you remember Gary Carr? He was like he's younger than
Gary
you guys.
Boat.
Yes, there's a good Gary
Same
Plain,
related?
Gary Carr, who's now Gary Bradley,
What do you
and
did he
Charles
get married?
Sullivan. No, he changed his name.
Oh my God, really?
He changed his name because it was a thing with his father and things with his father's thing, and his father,
Oh,
was that kind of thing.
and Gary
He
Newman
wanted to
cars.
be a Bradley rather than a Carr
There you go.
because the car was it's
Gotcha.
more personal. I don't want to go too crazy, but they started a theater company over here in Staten Island through Richmond County. Not Richmond
Gary
County.
Carr Theater.
No. Ghost Light Productions, it's called. And so we were doing a whole bunch of musicals and plays through Richmond, historic Richmond town. in
Oh,
conjunction with
all right.
Historic over there
Cool.
in the courthouse.
Do anything cool like spooky without the power, like one of those like like I know they do like shows in the tavern in the winter where it's just like they just go by
We
like the
didn't-
heat of the fireplace,
Like a Sleep No More?
No, we didn't do Sleep No More. we did a cabaret there. We did they did Pride and Prejudice there. They did I directed the Fantastics there. It was a nice small open space, so it was like really versatile. So that was one thing. And then in the wings, they do these big musicals at the St. George. I always play in the pit and musical director with them. So there's a lot of community programs on Staten Island that actually
what
take all these people from all the high schools and they kind of put them together.
right?
Pretty interesting.
But Farrell still has a theater program. You're just
Yes.
not doing it. Is it because when
Well-
you left, someone stepped in and then?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, Rob Tierney's wife.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
I don't know who Rob Tierney
You don't
is.
remember Rob Tierney? Okay.
Mr. Tierney.
Yes, Mr. Tierney.
Okay, I know.
Oh,
I know him by the
I
name
remember-
Mr. Tierney.
Yeah, I kind of remember that.
He has a first name is Rob. But Mr. Rob Tierney,
Didn't know
his
that.
wife. His
Okay.
wife is a director and his directs the program. Has
So you're
directed it
just
since
waiting for her to
2015.
leave so you can step back in.
Not really.
Okay.
I'm okay
I
with what
got
I'm
it.
doing right now.
Okay.
Yep. Got it. If you want
got
something
it.
to happen to her, let us know.
I mean, we can
Okay,
make
no
things
problem.
happen, yeah,
How many winks can we do? No, but it's that was a fun times, but they definitely, I don't know if I can do it again.
Mhm.
It was really kind of exhausting.
Yeah.
We
Well,
would
what,
practice 4 nights a week, 3 hours, and then Sunday 1 to 5, like consistently from January to March.
Yeah, it was a lot.
do you remember? I
what?
think it was on the town. Do you remember that?
That almost broke me, bro.
yeah, I know,
Town
that-
almost broke me.
That was
Why?
the one because we were maniacs. We couldn't sit still. I think I remember.
You
it
were
was-
elevated above ragtag.
I think
and
that
you
was
were-
also your first year doing it on your own without Doc, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. That might have been why you had extra pressure, and we were going nuts. And I remember Joanna Finiza gave a big speech about how we need to pull this thing
Mhm.
together. We need to make sure we
I know
everyone
what
gotta
this
stop
is.
messing
He's
around.
ramping. He's ramping
And
up.
just as she reaches the climax of her legitimate from the heart speech, me and Pat Given burst through the doors of the cafeteria. I think that he was riding a bike and I was chasing him with the American flag.
Right.
Does this sound familiar?
And then she
He's something
broke.
like that,
She
yes.
laughed. She wasn't even mad because it was so funny.
It was funny.
She was probably mad, like part of her, but
It's frustrating, I know, from your perspective, but from my perspective, it's one of my most cherished memories. So I don't know. I don't know what we're doing here. You know.
I have does Doc still work at Farrell?
No, Doc retired and moved to Arizona.
Great. Excellent. I have a whole theory on this guy, on this mofo.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So just to refresh our audience's memory, because I think I've talked about him.
Oh, you have? Okay.
He was.
You got to give me the episode numbers.
He was a teacher that also, you know, did the musicals, who grew up, am I wrong, in New York, I think it's Staten Island, right? Or Long Island?
I think it was Brooklyn, but yeah.
Okay. Grew up in New York City. He moved to California for a couple of years. And he came back. When he came back, he became a full-blown cowboy.
Yep.
And taught and would say things like, "Don't puss on my boots and tell me it's raining."
That's
and
right.
I'm not kidding. He fully was a cowboy. He wore boots. He wore like Wranglers, but with like a Farrell fleece tucked into it with a big belt buckle.
Oh my God.
He had cowboy hats that he would put on and off, whether he was leaving or coming out of, like, you know, to leave. He'd be like,
Was it a method acting thing? Was that what he was doing?
I think that's my theory. My theory is he went to California, couldn't break it. His last role was that he was a cowboy. He got stuck in it, came back home, but didn't want to come back home as like a failure, and was like, I'm permanently this way.
That's crazy. No, but that's what it was. And remember, we did Oklahoma as one of the shows. That was 6 years that he was director. And he was
directed
in
Oklahoma for 6 years?
No. He was director. I was musical director for 6 years. Like after the director before him left, and then I took over in
Doc's
2000.
But Doc, like, can we talk about it? It seems really strange that he became a cowboy, right?
Yeah, no, and if I met his brother, who's like full blown
a ninja?
Brooklyn.
Like, what's
Hey,
his
how you
deal?
doing? How you guys doing? His brother was exactly like that. Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So why can we speculate?
Okay.
Could he be a cowboy? Like I mean, I have friends that have gone to California and they're not cowboys. Like I even know people like Janine Haroni went to like London, and like she started to pick up a little bit of an accent, and you hear it. And I have a cousin who went to Australia who picked up an accent,
Big
but
time.
like I don't think that there's this thing that you become a cowboy
What
if
part
you
of
go
California
to
do you get that accent
California.
from?
He went to LA, I think.
Yeah. Well, he was a working actor. He's a working equity and SAG actor.
That's not a Cowboys.
What was
I
he
know.
on? What's his claim to fame? What was his biggest like credit?
I don't remember.
Did they have IMDb back then?
I don't know, but we can
Frank
try.
Caltabiano.
Dr. Frank Caltabiano.
Frank?
Yeah.
I mean,
Frank
this is.
L.
I love Monty nailing it right now.
Monty's
Yeah.
Edition. We doing
I'm
full names
s-
again.
Francesco Caltabiano?
I don't know.
It's possible that was his stage.
I
name.
don't look. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think he's on Facebook. I don't think he knows what Facebook is. I don't think he's.
No.
I think he's on Luddite.
I don't want Facebook.
I would
I
imagine,
want to see
on
if he has any
PonyExpress.com.
credits.
Okay.
But I've been obsessed with this, the idea of this, because it's just so strange that he also was so high status.
It's wild that he taught speech, but he didn't like he adopted an entirely different type of speech.
Yes.
Oh no.
Taught children.
He taught
He
speech.
was the moderator of the forensics team before I took it away from him.
No way.
And
now
I
you're gonna take
took it.
away from
I
Mrs.
took it
Tierney.
away from him because he was being unequitable with it.
And you're going to take it away from Mrs. Tierney again.
No,
take it all
that's
away.
a different situation. No, but he was using one. He was the play director and he was the speech director, and he was stopping a kid from going to competitions on one because he wasn't coming to rehearsals on the other. And
Oh,
so
yeah,
he was
okay.
using one against the other, and which wasn't fair.
It's
And
so
then I
weird
went
to care that much about anything at all. You know?
No, he really cared about petty stuff, and he
That
was really
sucks.
petty. Yeah, he was really, really petty about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I never liked him, and I loved having him as a teacher though, because I mean,
You could
they
kinda
were
help
they
him
were.
out.
I had known him through the plays, but when you got to that first class with a bunch of Farrell students that had never even heard of this guy, and he'd be a cowboy, they were like, "What?" They were like losing their mind. They'd never even seen this guy before because he doesn't teach anything else. He taught speech and did the plays, but then he stopped doing the plays. So he only taught speech.
No, he did the plays all the time. When he retired, he stopped doing the plays. That's why he
Right.
stopped. He didn't teach.
Oh,
after that.
really? He
Yeah,
had stopped doing the
left
play.
school. That's when he retired. He left.
Oh,
So he was half at Moore and half at Farrell. He did sociology at Moore and speech at Farrell, and that made him a full
Sociology.
time.
he was a sociopath.
There you go. Maybe
But
it was
no,
a
that's
big
crazy.
social experiment.
I mean, there's got to be something that there's. I mean, like we all enabled this person to like fully be a completely different person. Like that's the thing. I bet you he was a little bit more. I don't know. I bet you he felt like he was a little bit more like low status, and he adopted this character to sort of be like a little bit more aggressive. And he was like he was aggressive. I remember him being like weird to people in the shows, and like he didn't care about people's feelings, and he
Nope.
you know. He was
He had a standard, he had principles, but you see, it was all show. It was all standards that he would break. Like he had all these standards, you thought he was all principled, but then one person, when he casted Grease or something like that, I'm trying to remember, a couple people complained that he didn't get the part, and he changed the cast list. So he had no integrity. There was no integrity there whatsoever.
Wow, no integrity in High School Musical.
Yeah. Again, we're
Dark
making
stuff.
high school theater this big thing again.
I
But
think about it
it's-
from a parent's perspective. Like my parents would sit there for 3.5 hours and like watch me do a thing. Like I'm
Yeah.
glad that they love me. Like that's what it comes down
No,
to.
your mother would come and paint all the
Oh
murals.
yeah, that was big. She was doing
That
all
was big.
the stage work. Yeah.
She did all the stage work, and she was so talented. Like when we did all those billboards and all the stage work for Damn Yankees, incredible stuff.
I think we
the
still
best.
have Nathan's
I would,
hot dog somewhere in the house.
the best combo was you and Tom Powers, though.
God, it was so funny.
Tom Powers was. Do you remember him, Joe? He was a director at Villa.
Yeah, Villa.
Yep.
The one play I did at Villa was Bye Bye Birdie.
Yeah, he was
What
great.
show did Colin do?
He did a bunch at Villa. He did Fiddler on the Roof. He did.
He doesn't talk about that much in his resume that he was in High School Musical.
No, of course not.
That comes up a
I
lot.
think he does actually. I think
Yeah.
he definitely he was the first that I knew to like really not know lines and improvise lines. Like he was the wizard in the Wizard of Oz, like you know,
Okay.
behind the curtain, mostly because he like would show up late to practice and stuff, and like they were like, we'll just give you this role, which is
Mhm.
can you please just learn your lines for this? And he didn't, and he'd be like, he'd come in the night of the show and be like, you found me, there's a balloon here and you get in it, and that's cool.
Yeah, because he had to come from Regis, and so it was like a 2-hour commute to get back to Staten Island.
I can't believe he did that. Yeah, you're right. I haven't even thought about that.
Do it
But
for
yeah,
the
he
girls,
did.
you know?
He was Laser Wolf and Fiddler on the Roof because we also did that in like
Laser Wolf?
Like
That's a character in Fiddler on the Roof?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I did not seen this play. I didn't know there was a
Lazar.
character named Laser Wolf.
He's the
Yeah,
one who
Laser.
sings to life, L'chaim.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
with Tevye, bud.
Yep, it's a big
this
number.
crazy Gentile never heard of it.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I did in sixth, seventh, between like sixth and seventh and eighth grade in the summer, he and I did he was older, but we did Tom Powers did a PS41 acting camp. And all my friends were like in the baseball camp and they'd have bats and gloves and I'd be walking in without it and being like, I have to do my lines. And it was really fun. I really loved it, but it was always so interesting because all my friends were like, don't you want to play sports with us? And I was like, I'm sorry, we're doing improv today.
No, I musical directed that camp one year.
Oh, wow.
They did
And
Into the
Terry,
Woods.
I had Terry Terry, was that her name? Tracy Rosenberg. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Monty, for Bye Bye Birdie with Tom Powers directing, I on like opening night, I came out during the wrong number. It was like a number where all the girls sing about Comrade Birdie, and I thought I was supposed to be out there. So it was just me and like
Pretty good.
12 other girls, like, and I was just doing the thing where I'm trying to match them dancing. It was
Yeah.
honkers. I don't know what I was thinking. I still
Did you not remember not learning the choreography?
I was like, this seems familiar, but I don't know what's going on. It was like a real.
I think I
clueless
learned this
moment.
one day. Let me
I
just.
think I
let me
saw
dance
this, but like,
along.
yeah, it was so crazy. It was, I don't know, but the stakes are so low, you know?
Yeah, it was so funny though. But I mean, a lot of those things just became social things anyway, right?
Yeah, that was the whole point.
Right.
That was why I did it. I'm glad I did it, you know?
When you're in a unisex school, that's how you kind of
That's
Get
it.
together.
Yeah, it's that or the dances, and I'm not gonna go to a super dance and like get to know someone. That's not my
Good.
style.
Dances. Horrible.
Yeah.
Do you, Monty? Do you remember any of your catchphrases for like pre-show things that you would say to the cast?
Oh yes.
I'll
I do.
give you an example. Like, so Tom Powers, his wife, Maureen Powers.
I think. Let me see if I can predict what you're gonna say.
Great.
Because I actually think I used it as a couple yearbook quotes. All right.
I use it. I
this?
love it.
Is it this? Teenagers are like airplanes.
Yep, that's it.
Is that it?
Yep.
Teenagers are like airplanes. You only hear about the ones that crash. Let's hear about the ones that fly.
She would say, but you are the ones that fly.
Oh,
And it was like really, it was really sweet. It was a nice way to start a show. It was
So
really,
is the
I
idea
found it
behind
beautiful.
that most airplanes fly? Most of them do fine.
most of them
Yeah.
do fine.
Okay.
But you never hear about them. You only
Right,
hear about
never.
the, like the teens that crash. I mean, it was just a way of being like,
so
you guys
most
will be okay.
teenagers operate as they should, and a couple of them crash horrifically.
Die.
Yeah.
And a bunch of them die.
Oh my god.
That's what she said. She was just like, hey, look,
the
chances
other
are you'll
half.
be okay, but
That
a
was
lot
the
of
other
you
half
might,
of the quote,
A
right?
lot of them might die on a
some of
plane.
you might die.
Have you
Okay.
seen Final Destination? A lot of kids died on that plane.
Right.
Okay. So,
And there were snakes too. Different movie.
yeah, that's right.
The other, well, I used to do a thing with, I used to say a thing like, because I used to always feel bad for the chorus people, like the people who are not the leads, you know?
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah,
I
me.
love, we loved being in chorus though. Like if we were ever in chorus, it was the most fun.
Do you know?
Right.
Do you know this? That we used to like being in chorus. You had a lot of downtime at these practices, right?
Yes.
Do you know what we used to do? Do you know how like we would practice in the cafeteria, and like the snack stand was right there.
Right.
You know? What we
Yes,
used to
I
do?
know this story too.
Okay.
So
Joe
if
is
you
the
had
king.
to
Joe
total
is-
up the
Spill the
whole that you
beans.
used to steal. If you total up the whole of all the things you stole from the candy counter, what do you think? How much do you owe the school? How much do you need to
Well,
put in a
it's
donation?
candy.
Back
So
to the
I
high school now.
honestly, I would bet like $100. I really think it's that much because it's candy.
Now with inflation, that's about
Okay.
because you're old AF.
Uh-huh.
Is about
Hmm.
300.
I'm older than you were when I knew you. That's crazy to me.
That is true.
Is that true?
Yeah. I
What
remember
year
your
was it?
30th birthday.
So I'm 49 right now. So
So am I.
yeah, but you look it. I don't. So
Monty, you really look
It's
the
true.
same. I love
Look
it.
the same.
I realize I got all this up here.
I don't know.
my
That's negligible.
Thinning here.
I mean, there are people our age with less, so it's like you gotta
That's true.
come some. So I remember also sometimes like being in a scene and you being like, all right, we're gonna practice this scene and we'll come back to that scene after. And I was like, okay, I have a good about 30 minutes, and I would
Right.
like find the other chorus members and be like, let's go to the band room and play drums, and we
Yes.
can go to the band room and like
love it.
play the,
Yes.
that was like and then just going around Farrell at night. And like there'd be like no one there. The janitors were even done by
All
that
the
time.
doors used to be like left wide open. It was great.
Yeah,
I
they
guess-
left everything open. You just go down East Wing, go anywhere you wanted, which is bad because someone gets hurt. That was my ass, but
I know, but no one wants to go.
no
there.
one ever did. So it's kind of like thank God,
Yeah.
But
Well,
no,
That was the best though. Playing drums, playing the vibraphone. When am I going to play a vibraphone in my life? Like that was
Mhm.
great.
yeah, we had all of them. I still teach it with them because I'm the band director now. At the
Okay,
school.
so you're doing that.
Oh, really? You do like the marching band?
Yep.
You could do that too?
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
You-
he was
wait,
doing
you
that
know
when we
how
were
to-
there. You were doing that when we were there.
No, there was
started
Mr.
that.
Christensen.
Yeah,
were-
but I was his assistant.
They were in tandem. He was his protege, just like Doc.
I didn't know that. Wait, so
Yeah.
you could just I know that I know a little bit about music, but not this kind of stuff. So you could just
the guy that wrote the soundtrack to the spec soundtrack to the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory musical can't musical direct a band.
Is that what you're trying to say?
it's
that what you're trying to
marching.
say right
It's like there's a bunch of marches. Please, can you make like a march?
The physics teacher can't figure out how to make people move.
Can you
in
make
formation?
Can you make a march version of the that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Sure.
How does it feel to be railed
Dun-dun-dun.
by the sun?
Oompa,
That's metal. That's like a metal version, like a double kick.
Yeah,
Oh,
but we never
this is
did
great.
marches. We always took classical music and made it into things on the field. So we never really did marches. But there were years that Mrs. C would not do. Rest in peace, by the way. I don't know if you know he
Yeah,
passed.
no, yeah.
He used to.
Casey shrugs.
He would just do the same show over and over again, the same Irish and English tunes over and over again.
Right.
It's like, can we do something different, please?
No, he
Because,
was definitely like locked in a thing.
no, I like this, and there was basically you found out later he just didn't want to do anything different.
I don't think you need to find out later about that.
Yeah.
His homework would consist of us just like literally copying text out of a
Yeah.
textbook into a notebook. It was
Yes, I
absurd.
teach those classes now too.
Are they better? Like I used to.
Well,
dread
yeah,
those
I
classes.
try-
It made me hate music, and I love
I
music.
actually do history and music now with them. Sophomores
Oh,
take
that's
European
cool.
history, and so I do the European music development. But in junior
Like the
year, they
Beatles,
have
the Beatles,
American-
and the British
Right,
invasion, that
British
stuff.
Invasion.
no,
Oasis versus
no, I'm
Learn?
talking Bach, Mozart, Beethoven stuff, right? So that's the sophomore year. The junior year, though, I do popular music, and we do American music.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
What?
Who's in there? Who's that?
Do you recognize him, Monty? Can you tell who
Not
this
with
is?
the beard. I gotta get closer. I
beard?
can't see. Let me hit his thing. Let me see.
It took me a second.
Who is that? Hold on.
I mean, who's in our crew?
I can't speak. I need
Who
you on
used
a
to
big
smoke
screen.
a lot of blunts, Monty?
The list is long. Hold on.
We almost
Barbara-
once. I don't know.
Oh,
Hi,
Greg
Monty.
the Benedetto. Holy
A
Christ.
trademark
Hey, Greg.
Benedetto voice.
What is up with the beard? What is that? Oh my Lord.
It's
Oh,
cold.
great, man. How you doing?
It's
Good.
cool.
You look great too. How are you?
I'm good. The duo team is back.
So I didn't
Yeah,
tell
I guess.
Greg. I didn't tell Greg anything. I just sent him a link and wrote, "Trust me."
Oh man. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm cooking though.
What are you doing right now? Besides
I'm
cooking, I mean,
making. I'm making hamburgers and French fries.
awesome.
What are you,
Greg's gone.
He's gone.
what are you guys doing? You
We're
understand?
podcasting. So-
It's,
nice.
it's
Yes,
look at this.
I
Now it's
gathered
become a
it's
cooking show. That's
Now it's a
awesome.
cooking show. Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking. You know, Monty knows all of the terrible things that we did back then.
He knows
every
all
one
of
of
them. I'm trying to surprise him with any of them.
By terrible things, like when we won Princeton.
Oh yes.
Well, he was like,
Yes,
he was
when
like,
you were on you were sick to your stomach because everything you did the night before.
Am I right?
Yeah,
told me you were nervous.
I threw up on the. Did we both throw up on the way?
I
in the
think you threw
bushes.
up, and then I threw up because
the
you threw up.
bushes,
It
I
was
remember
that.
it.
It was like that.
Like we had to actually pull the van over.
You were
No,
you
we
were
were
way
walking.
worse. Wait, no, there
I
were
was way
several
worse.
times.
I wasn't. Yeah, but I wasn't the worst. Wait, what?
No. I don't mean like that. I mean that day that, like, I remember during the tournament, you were like, you had to leave the room to go to the bathroom and puke, and then you came in and we killed. we got up on stage and we killed.
There was
Yeah,
like
man.
lived in
Was-
nature to your performance.
Was that
We
Harry
were
and Sam
good.
dialogues you guys did? Was that it?
Yeah.
The Harry and Sam dialogues. Yeah, I never hear the name Karen without thinking Karen Ellison.
Karen-
She wrote it.
That's obscure.
She wrote it. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
That's obscure.
Well,
What
you
else
had
can
to say the name. I think because I always kept saying things like Karen Ellis. I would just like cut it short.
Can we shock
you
Monty
just-
with any stories?
I don't remember. I mean, we smoked a significant amount of weed.
See, that's I only
My
got
first time
at the
smoking
end
weed
of
was
like,
with these
you know, I
guys.
smoked weed. That's all I got.
Yeah.
The amount where, you know,
What did we do? We never did anything like evil.
No.
No,
Not really.
no. I
No, we
I
never,
also
like,
I had said also like we did nothing with girls. It was like it was almost never like we're gonna go to the girls'
Yo,
hotel.
that was like the main problem. Like that was like the hilarious. There was never a girl. There was never a girl.
One time we
Like-
snuck across the highway. You guys weren't there, but I snuck across the highway with two other guys to the
It
hill,
didn't happen. If we weren't there, it
It
didn't
did.
happen.
to the Hill Hotel.
yes.
It was It was.
That was in
so
Philly,
fun.
right?
That was what?
It was in Philly. You snuck across the highway.
Do you know this much? Like I can't believe it. If you like, I can't.
Well,
see
that's the only. No, it's the only hotel we had that was near the highway. That's why.
Didn't he like make out with a girl in the movie theater like lobby?
Yeah, you took us to see Royal Tenenbaums in Boston.
Yeah.
That was in Boston when you
Which
all.
is so
when
cool. You took us to see Royal Tenenbaums. I love it.
Well, it
Yeah,
was
but we
cool in
ran-
one sense,
isn't
but from a coach perspective, the only reason why we went is because nobody broke it out of the prelim
Well,
rounds.
I-
So as a competitive
it's a consolation
standpoint, it
prize.
sucked. But it
Yeah,
was.
but isn't
All right,
the
let's do
craziest
something.
thing about that? Like we ran into the Josts randomly.
Mhm.
Did we?
Like didn't that happen? Like weren't the Josts? Casey, wasn't your family? Weren't you with your family walking out of the Royal Tenenbaums when we were like going in?
I
I
think I
mean,
remember
it's very possible. I mean that I have no
Why
idea,
was
but
his
that
family in
seems
Boston or Philly or whatever. That was in
Because
Boston.
they went because we
That was in
because me
Boston.
and because we went up like I went up. It was me, Casey, Charles, and Mary on the ride up, and we had dinner with Colin the first night.
you know why? Do you remember that, Monty?
What? That you were you
No,
had to go in the car.
the names, those names. You
Greg-
at one point put down Charles and Mary as my parents' names, which is
Yes,
not
I
their
didn't know
name.
their first names. I made up names
Yeah.
because the field required me to put a first name in, and I actually think went up to them and go, "Listen, I apologize, but you're Charles and you're Mary."
And Greg has
I-
forever
that was the
called
origin.
my parents Charles and Mary.
And you know, Casey's mom doesn't know my name. 20 years later, she still doesn't
Last
know my
name. Last name.
Yeah.
Imbashini. She said last time. She goes Imbashini.
Yeah.
Last night,
No,
No,
last
like
time
the
we
last, like
quizzed her
no,
on
but it was like less than a year ago.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
wow.
I could call her. I mean, I'll bring her in any second, and she'll say Imbashini. Trust
Well,
me.
you know Greg Benedetto and Andrew Monteleone?
She'll probably say Di Benedetto, and then she'll say Monty.
Yeah, everyone says Monty. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
You remember that time
Oh,
we were
man.
driving you home, Monty, and we got pulled over by the cops? And my dad talked his way out of the ticket?
No, I don't.
You don't?
I don't remember
No.
that.
We were driving you home from practice or something. And
Yeah, there was about a 6-year stint, and I didn't have a car.
yeah, what happened? You just didn't get a car.
Didn't have it. I couldn't.
Cars
find, I
are-
couldn't
They're a lot of
afford it.
money and insurance, all that stuff. That's a lot.
Yeah, I guess now I know that. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
messed up my car the other
I
day.
just know there was a whole thing with that, and I couldn't buy another one, and I don't know. There was a lot of
Do you have a car now?
financial things at that point. Oh yeah, I have a nice one now. So
Oh,
good
really?
Hell
You
yeah.
would?
There
Let's see
is
it.
there a live stream of this with video somewhere? Like I'm not on the internet, right?
Yeah, you are.
Well, you are, but I mean, I could always cut it out. I just thought it'd be a fun.
he's
No,
out.
you can. It's fine. I don't care.
Oh, you
I mean,
I'm
can't
not like
percent it.
wanted. I'm not like wanted or anything.
yeah, this is.
I
I
I
mean,
voted for Biden. It's all okay.
We want you.
it's up to you. I could blur you if you want.
No, don't. You don't have to blur me. It's fine. I was just like, I didn't know what was about to happen.
Yep.
It never occurred to me it'd be Monty. I kind of thought it was going to be Conco.
Yep.
But
That feels
I
about
just
right.
I'm not,
randomly
let
texted
down.
them.
I'm not like let down or anything. This is awesome.
That's good. I haven't seen you in what has to be 10 years at least.
Well, I mean,
15?
yeah, probably. I mean, I graduated in 02, so it's probably like 04, something like that. I mean, we came and judged a couple times. I mean,
Yeah.
I did. I went
Yeah.
to Yale and something. We
Were
did
you, on
something
the,
else.
were you on the Yale trip when a bunch of us went? Were you on that together?
I remember the thing about Yale. Yeah, we were there, and you got the thing right in the bar. Like you won the drink in the bar.
Yes,
the
that's
bartender
right.
The bartender was like, "No, you."
He was
knew
incredulous.
That.
You remember that? Yeah, that we were at a bar in Yale, and there was like this weird cryptic message on the wall, and it was like, if you guess what this message is, you get a free drink. And I guessed it. I figured it out. And the
It
guy,
was like it basically was like the message basically was like if you
If you
figure
can
this
read
out,
this,
you
you get a
will
free
buy
drink.
you a drink or something,
Yeah.
right?
Well, what was it in? Like a
it
hieroglyphics
was like
thing? or code?
monograms. It was just one. It was the first word of each letter of the
Oh,
sentence.
okay.
And I just figured it out.
Yeah.
And,
Wow.
yeah.
And but the bartender didn't redeem.
he was upset that I got it. Yeah.
He was like pissed. He thought Joe cheated somehow. Like we were sitting there. This is like pre-phone. There was
Yeah.
no internet to go to. I mean, it was like
Right.
maybe there was, but like it was primitive. And
Yeah.
like
Like the
Joe
LG
nailed-
chocolate.
Joe nailed it. Like he fucking just nailed it in like 10 seconds. We all looked at him like, holy shit, that's
It was-
exactly what it. The
I don't
bartender
even know
was
if I was
taking
of
like a
age.
back.
Yet.
What?
I don't even know if I was of age.
Yeah, you very well may not have been. Who knows if I was even of age at that point? Like,
Was this during high school? No, this wasn't high school. This is when you guys
no,
went back.
this was post because we went to a bar. Like this, I think because we went to a bar. It was in a bar.
Yeah.
So maybe it was.
Yeah,
like-
it must have been like 3 years later or something.
Yeah, I don't think we went to. We were so bold as to go to bars when we were in high school.
right. Exactly.
I was like you guys were like 15, 16. Like,
Oh, the good
Um,
old days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Greg. I the only really I would never think that you were a bad influence, except for that I probably smoked 100 Marlboro Lights because of you.
And 100 blunts because of you.
Well, I don't
Well-
think that's bad.
the cigarettes were a problem. Yeah.
You quit.
Yeah, I mean I vape, which is unfortunate, but you know, We're working on it. We're always working on it, right?
So does Monty. So it's like,
Oh yeah.
But, like
of course.
if I even have it, like I can't finish a cigarette. Like if I ever bum one off Gagsy, it's like half
you know,
one.
Do you remember
So,
Mike Gagliardi?
our good friend
I do remember
Mike Gagliardi, not Bill Gagliardi. Mike
Okay.
Gagliardi was Bill's cousin, and he's he's been on this podcast several times. You work with him. How fun is that?
Mike is the greatest. Mike is the best. I love Mike
Yeah,
Gags.
he's something.
He's a lot of fun. Today, Mike selected. Oh man, the music was so fucking great today. It was like
He's been playing a lot
Mariah
of-
Carey, but like he led with all the ballads.
Mike's
Great.
picking the music at Joe Coffee.
What's up? Yeah, I mean,
Mike's
so
picking the
yeah, I
music?
mean, it kind of rotates, and if you put something on that's not really offensive, it pretty much stays on all day.
Oh.
And today was like Mariah Carey, like early '90s ballads, like "Hero" and I can't think of it right
Honey,
now. Of course.
probably Honey.
Well, yeah, Honey came eventually, but like it was like really the early shit, like the Music Box shit,
Yeah,
like Vision of
Da-
Love, and that like that.
the Dream
I
one.
have never felt older. I just want to let you know.
We're talking about
Why?
90s
You're,
music.
you're not familiar with
Still
Mariah
old.
Carey?
No, I mean I don't
That's funny.
have her. I don't have her lexicon to memory. I mean, come on. I don't know what she has.
Oh, I mean, that was like what my whole childhood in the car was like just the power divas, like her, Whitney, Bette Midler was another favorite of my mother.
Wow.
Like just
Yeah,
like
my
just
dad
like-
loved Bette Midler.
yeah. I mean, it's like the shit that I would complain. Obviously, we all do. It's probably all of us now. We're all in our mid 30s, and Monty's in his early 40s probably.
Thank you for that. But no,
And
I got
all
the
that
big
shit that
5-0
we
next year, Greg. Big 5-0
Wow.
oh
next
wow!
year.
Congratulations!
That's insane. I love it.
I don't talk to you before then. Happy birthday.
Greg,
Thank you.
Joe pointed out that we are now older than what Monty was when like in high school, like when we were in high school. We're older than Monty was.
Mhm.
That's actually kind of crazy.
And it makes sense. All the things you let us get away with make sense now because I would do it. I would be like,
Well,
oh,
think
of
about
course.
it. Yeah, if you were in charge of a team, Joe, what would you let the kids do?
They'd be dead.
We'd be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're going to be wrapping up in a sec.
Yeah, we got to wrap up. We're out of time, but I wanted to thank you guys. And Monty, anytime you want to come back, and Greg, if you want to come do a full episode, that would be really fun.
Yes.
This has been amazing.
I'm down for whatever.
Great to catch up, guys.
Monty, thank you so much for doing this. It's
If you have
insane that you
song,
would do
Charlie,
this.
If you have that Charlie Wonka song, please.
Do you
I
remember
have to
this,
find
Greg?
it.
I don't know Charlie Wonka song. No. But I just want to say hi.